panelists and the dignitaries on the dais. I would also like to welcome all the guests who are there and who have taken time out to join this conference on smart cities. I represent NetApp. We are a global leader in the space of data storage and data management. Data is central or foundational to smart cities, and I believe we have an important role to play in the smart city initiative of our Honorable Prime Minister. We have huge experience, we have the right technology to contribute and enable the Government of India and the other stakeholders to realize the dream of building smart cities in the country. The agenda which I have set for all of you is, I'll give you my perspective of, when I say my, it is NetApp India's perspective or NetApp as a global company's perspective based on our experience. It was really heartening to hear different perspectives from our eminent personalities, eminent speakers here. There are two perspectives which I would like to bring, and I have a video as well which will give you good ideas, and we have very senior IS officials available here, and I'm sure it will be a good knowledge session for them as well. I'll briefly touch upon who we are and what do we do. I spoke about experience. We have been associated with large projects globally, and I'll give you a very brief snapshot of that, and we can discuss some of these things in detail post the session. I also have a session on why NetApp for smart cities. I will touch on that as well. I'll try to see that we don't get into too much of technology and maybe cover the high-level view of that particular aspect. So what is a smart city? I mean, I've been reading about smart city to build or to update myself on what exactly are smart cities. Why do we really need smart cities? How have they really helped globally? Now, there are two or three things which comes very, very clearly around smart cities. One is smart city is about leveraging information and communication technology in the various aspects of your city, which could be water, which could be safety, which could be utilities, which could be transport. So there are about 8 or 9 aspects of a city which I have tried to show on this slide. And the idea is, how do you leverage these technologies to take informed decisions? How do you take smart decisions? And these decisions have to be taken on a real-time basis. So this is, and these smart cities globally have been done for various objectives. It is for us, and I'll talk about some of these objectives for which these smart cities have been rolled out. The first and foremost is improving the quality of life of its citizens. I think that's fundamental to human beings. That's one of the reasons why people have deployed it. We can examine it in the context of our country. The second very important reason why people have deployed these smart cities are to cut down the carbon footprint. All of us know the challenges of pollution around us, how they have been impacting our health. And that is one of very, very strong reason why people have adopted smart cities or technologies to make their cities smart. The other factors could be, how do we improve the economy of a particular city or a country? And that is also an essential component for a country like us, who was really growing very fast. We are among the fastest economies today globally. And I'm sure when we adopt some of these technologies, perhaps we can accelerate the growth of our economy as well. Now, what really enables you to take decisions on a real-time basis? I think that's an important question we need to ask ourselves. What is it which is enabling us to take decisions on a real-time basis? And it is data. It is the data which is enabling us to take decisions on a real-time basis. Now, imagine a situation where there is a fire in your city and multiple people have to get involved to minimize the loss of life and damage to the property. Now, it has to be the fire department. It has to be the police department. There are multiple other agencies who get involved in ensuring that they all reach the site in time and address the problem well in time. It will not really help if the fire department has come, but perhaps some of the other departments are still trying to figure out what needs to be done. So all of them needs to be synced. And as long as we can ensure that, we can say, yes, we are moving in the right direction. And the second important thing is collaboration. And I just gave you an example of collaboration. So in a smart city, while we have multiple departments, it is very, very important that all of them need to be in sync at a given state of time. And technology can be a big enabler. They can really, really ensure that the technology and the processes can ensure that you have the right integration between the various departments, which helps you to take decisions on real time and which are informed decisions and smart decisions. Before I go further, let me quickly give you an overview of NetApp. We are a global leader in the space of data storage and data management. We basically help customers to store their data, manage their data, and protect their data. We've been in this business for over 2 decades now, and we are headquartered in Sunnyvale, California. We have offices in over 150 countries, and we have close to 12,000 employees in all these offices. We have a very unique culture, and this culture has really helped us to gain reputation of being a great employer year on year. We are among the best companies to work for in all the countries we operate. So I have a video to take you through one of the case studies, which I thought will be very, very relevant. And perhaps after the video, I will quickly summarize and some of the points which I think will be important as you leave this conference. Maybe some of these can be good takeaways for you.
California is the 8th largest economy in the world. That exports a lot of things to a lot of countries and a lot of states. Water, oil and gas, agriculture. California affects the world. Water. Without water, there is no agricultural business in California. Without looking at how we manage these resources, it will have an impact not only in the rest of the United States, but the rest of the world. The state CIO and the governor both want to see technology provide more effective government for California. How can we use IT as a business enabler? It's information. The mandate around shared services and consolidations, we had to drive that collaboration into the IT ecosystem.
The big reason that we went with NetApp for cloud services was because of the functionality NetApp provided that other vendors didn't.
It would support our high-performance computing, our new big data analytics, our mobile strategies.
Giving us the ability to securely partition data between customers and allow customers management capability of their data.
We capture data on everything. The technology that allows us to be able to communicate quickly to the local governments, things like levee breaks or flood flows, it's incredibly important to have that data.
We are 97% virtual. We have over 8 petabytes of information. We have 300% more storage capability than we had 18 months ago. We've reduced our CapEx across the board by 42%. We've reduced our operational X by 30%. With us, a strategic partner isn't somebody that just comes along and sells us a product. NetApp products and their engineers understand where we were going. The citizens need information today, not yesterday. We have to provide time to market information to our departments so that they can operate at the speed of the citizen.
I hope you could get some key messages from the video. But just to recapture for the benefit of everyone out here, who is CNRA? CNRA is California Natural Resource Agency. It consists of 29 departments, and they are responsible for varied things as ocean resources, wildlife, water, fire department, so on and so forth. And these 29 departments, before they decided to come together, they were all working in silos. Each of them had their own applications to serve their business requirements. But sometime in 2008, there was a huge financial crisis, and perhaps that really helped them to come together to figure out how do they crack this problem. And that was a time they looked at some radical ways of doing that IT, and they partnered with NetApp to set up a private cloud which was serving the needs of all those 29 departments, which helped them to crack their problem. Some of the key things which I want to share with you, apart from what I've spoken till now, before they deployed the system, the latest data was as old as 30 days. Now, can you imagine a situation where you have to take a decision, but your data is 30 days old? Do you really think decision is really possible? And even if decision has been taken, it may serve the purpose or it may not serve the purpose. And specifically in a crisis situation, you need to know as a situation so that a right decision can be taken. But after they deployed this solution, all the 29 departments had access to data on a real-time basis, and which was coming handy to them for crisis situations like flood, fire, drought, earthquake. And I can understand what is the severity of these kind of natural disasters. But they had built a system to respond to that at a lightning speed, because they had all the resources available to them along with the data to take the right decisions. And these were some of the critical benefits which they got out of deploying the solution. They also had a lot of financial benefits. The IT capex got reduced from 42 and OPEX by 35%. So they could reduce their capex by 42% and OPEX by 35%. Some of the guys who are here who have been dealing with IT, I'm sure they'll be able to relate with what I'm saying here. And they could also consolidate their infrastructure using some of the technologies I spoke about. They could store 300% more data in 30% smaller storage physical footprint, which has a huge impact on your data center footprint, on your power, cooling, and other associated costs. I was talking about some of the other deployments we have done. China has taken some lead, and Ningbo happens to be a large smart city for them. They have deployed, they have currently chosen to deploy the smart cities in the area of transport, which happens to be a key problem for all the large metros. The areas of governance, healthcare, and education, and I have briefly mentioned about in what areas have they developed deployed these solutions. So transport, it is primarily your traffic management system, the intelligent traffic management system. Governance, they've tried to integrate the lower courts and the higher courts so that they have better communication between the two levels of courts. On the healthcare, we've been talking about e-health, and some of these things have already been deployed in this particular city. And education, I think we got some good insight that education is what is critical, and perhaps this is one area which can really accelerate the growth of our country. If we can really focus on education and ensure that each and every citizen of this country is literate, I'm sure we can go a long, long way, and smart city in the health of education can really take us a long way. Israel has been paranoid about security, so they have deployed citywide surveillance projects. They've also looked at the other security solutions like lawful interception, and these are two areas where we have worked with them and deployed our solutions extensively. Naju city happens to be the other area where we have deployed our solutions, and these solutions have been deployed in the area of security, transport, and healthcare. Vienna happens to be among the top 10 smart cities. and they have deployed on various aspects of a smart city, and we have worked with them in the areas of utility. I would now talk about some of the large city surveillance projects. Safe City is one of the focus of Government of India and the state governments today. We've been talking of city-wide surveillance projects. So I thought it would be prudent to touch upon some of these projects which we have done on a city-wide or at some of the major locations. So this is for a city-wide surveillance project at Washington. The customer was looking for high-density storage, and we had a very specific solution to meet that requirement. And this is a large implementation which is about 5,000 odd cameras and multi-petabyte deployment. While there have been deployments of NetApp at the various airports in India and one of the largest metros, we also have worked with the Stockholm Metro. Stockholm happens to be also one of the large smart cities globally, and they also deployed us at the surveillance for the metro project, which is also a large implementation. Amsterdam, I'm sure all of us would be tracking. All of Amsterdam also happens to be among the top 10 smart cities, and if you talk about smart cities, Amsterdam will always be there. And they have done some innovative work. We were talking about cycling and some of those stuff. I think those people have been really using that very, very effectively. This is a large implementation of video surveillance, and we have the privilege to work with this customer. So let me now take you through some of the challenges of traditional IT, because we're talking of smart cities. So your architectures, your IT architectures, your applications also needs to be smart, because ultimately they will enable they will bring the smart component in your cities. So till now, and I also referred to in the case study that all the infrastructures have been siloed because they don't have the capability to host multiple clients or multiple applications or multiple departments on a shared IT. That concept has been evolving, and I think people are still taking time to understand how the entire thing works. And because of which, they are not able to leverage the resources. So if there are application A and application B, it is very difficult for application A to leverage B resources and vice versa if they are siloed. So these are some of the challenges which we have actually seen, which essentially means that you need to over-provision when you are deploying your resources. So siloed architecture is one of the key challenges. Scalability, while when you design a solution, you design for certain units, but the moment you cross that, you have to rip and replace your system. Data has been growing, and smart city is all about data. You cannot continue with the old architectures. You need to look at ways so that you can do more with less. You can optimize your storage cost, because that's the only thing which is really growing. And the cloud integration. Today, cloud has become a reality. And it is important that whatever technologies are getting deployed, they are all cloud enabled. You should be able to integrate with the cloud. You should be able to talk to the clouds around and integrate with them. So I just wanted to show you the kind of scalability we offer. The whole idea is that all these things can be done online, because you can't really afford in a smart cities that you bring down your applications and then do your replacements or do your upgrades or redesign things. It is not possible. So whatever has to be done, it has to be done online. And these are some of the ways, and I will be happy to discuss with you. So the point which I was trying to make, that all the challenges of a traditional IT, we can solve through one single solution. And I'll be happy to discuss that as we go along. So thank you so much, and I would like to thank elets for giving me this opportunity. I hope it was useful, and have a great day. Thank you.